G'day boys, and welcome to this video to explain how to access your assignment for while I'm away on camp. So you'll see that I'm on the Year 8 course page, which you should all be familiar with. Down here you've got your ebook that you've been accessing throughout the term. If you just scroll down a little bit further, you'll see our quizzes, and right below our quizzes we've got our health promotion campaign assignment. And everything you need for your assignment is in there. So look, you've got your rubric, which is good to have. I'll download that there. And you've got your assignment details below that. So let's open up the assignment details here first. And you'll notice that what you're being asked to do is choose one of the specific topics we've discussed throughout term one. So the topics that are in your ebook, and focus in more clearly on that particular topic by creating a campaign to promote awareness of that particular topic. Okay, so you see here, campaigns should inform and build awareness, capture the appropriate audience, and offer support to combating the concern. So what that means basically is that you've got to have a particular audience in mind for your promotional campaign, and a way in which you're going to try and, I guess, help the public or that particular audience deal with that particular concern. Now, the way you can do that is really up to you. So down here, it's got, you must explain why this health concern is an issue for young Australians. That should be pretty easy because we've spoken about that at length, and the information's available in your ebook. However, you'll want to do a little bit more work to make sure that you do a bit more research to help add a bit more depth to your argument. Also here, you can capture the attention of your audience through any form of media. So you could make a video, some sort of image print, social media. You might want to create either a Twitter or a Facebook campaign. You could also go through a PowerPoint, but that would be a very sort of old school method. We're sort of looking for you to do something a bit new and different here. So really get your creative side involved in your campaign. And also you want to make sure you give your audience the opportunity to support those at risk of the health concern. So remember here, it's a digital delivery, which means that you'll be submitting through MyMarcelin, which I'll show you how to do now. So you can see here for me, it says view all submissions. For you guys on this page, it will come up with add submission. And pretty much what you do is you just click this add submission button, which will be in place of view all submissions. I have that as a teacher. And then you'll drag in, or you can place your assignment in that particular Dropbox there. Alternatively, if you're really struggling, just hold on to that and I'll go through how to do that in lesson 3 when I'm back from camp. So if that's a concern for you, but like I said, it's normally pretty simple. If you open up a folder, you drag your file over into that box, it will appear and you'll be able to add your submission. Also important in this assignment is looking at this rubric. So I'll open up our rubric here. And what you'll see is that it gives you a guide to the way I mark you. So what I'd strongly suggest that you do before you hand in your work is you go through and you mark your own work based on the criteria listed here. So obviously everyone would be aiming for and expecting to get between 4 and 5 for each of their criteria here. So starting with our first criteria, health concern is critiqued. What that means is that you really need to go in depth and explain the health concern. So you need to explain it as if people aren't already aware of what the health concern is, so that you give a really clear idea of your own understanding of that particular health concern. All right, so just remember with the health concerns, what we're talking about here are the obesity, asthma, anaphylaxis, all the different topics within the ebook. Then over on this criteria, we're talking about media produces a rich and capturing campaign. That basically means how engaging is your particular campaign to the general public. So if I was to come across that as a member of the general public, how engaged would I feel? How likely would I be to get involved in what you're producing? So there's a persuasive element here, as there is in any sort of campaign. And then over here, it's you basically giving ways in which people can get involved to basically help and support the health concern. So overcome barriers. So there might be particular barriers that people might feel towards getting help. For example, if it was anaphylaxis, they might feel like it's a bit, they're a bit embarrassed. So you might come up with ways to overcome that particular barrier. And these are the 3 criteria for this assignment, boys. So you'll get feedback on those, and that'll result in a final mark out of 15. So like I said, I highly recommend that you go through this before you submit your work and make any adjustments that, if you think, oh, I haven't really covered this criteria very well, then certainly that'd be something that you'd look at changing. Hope this makes sense, boys. I'd love it if you could have a look at this before you go on holidays so that you can email me, and I guess I can respond to you with any problems you might have, or areas of concern you might have prior to going on camp. That way you don't waste 2 lessons sitting there unsure of what to do. So that's why I've sent this video to you now. Only 6.5 minutes. Be great if you could watch that before you go off on holidays. Many thanks. Look forward to seeing your work next term in week 2. Best wishes for Easter, guys.